Hey everybody, it's Jamie. How are you all doing today? Today I have my first 12 by 12 layout of 2019. This year my album is 12 by 12, so I'm going to be doing a lot more mixture of different size layouts, so stay tuned for a lot more 12 by 12s coming out. So this layout is of our family friend's 21st birthday party, and these are some photos. They had a photo printer there, so I had a few photos, and that giant pineapple was one of her decorations. I didn't even bring it home. I found it on the bench the next morning and asked where it came from, and my dad says that he said he grabbed it, so I'm just using it in this. Obviously he's got no need for it, so I'm going through the papers. I grabbed some out of my stash. These are all 12 by 12 papers. This yellow one is from the Maggie Holmes Shine collection. It's a bit old, and I had this idea to kind of do a photo strip. And I thought that'd be cool because these photos are actually 2 by 3, so they're a little bit, well, they're a lot small. And I wanted to do some paper layers sort of, and it has the photo strip as a layer of paper because I thought it would look really cool. So I'm using just my standard 12 by 12 white cardstock. This is the same cardstock that I use for my 8.5 by 11 layouts as well. It's the same brand. It's smooth cardstock. I like smooth cardstock. It's just the way I do it. So I decided on these two papers. The floral one is Kaisercraft, and I really wanted a floral one because it was Hawaiian themed, in case you haven't realised from all the Hawaiian shirts in the photos and the giant pineapple. And I wanted some sort of florally paper. So I'm going to trim these down to about 3 inches each. This is a new metal ruler that I bought today. And then when I got home, I actually got one in the mail that I bought off of eBay about a month ago. This one is a lot better quality though, so I think I'm going to keep using this one and kind of have that other one as a spare. So I'm cutting them down, just like I said before, exactly to 3 by 12. That yellow one, I could actually use it as a 9 by 12 layout, which is something I might do. A pattern paper background, obviously. As I'm new to pattern paper backgrounds, I like to use more neutral papers. Really bright papers are intimidating for me still, so I'm still going with neutral ones. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape to stick these down, and I forgot to cut off the, what are they called? The company's tag thing? I can't remember what they're called. I've got to cut that off, so I'm just using my scissors to trim that down, and I'm just layering this, trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Now, I got these We Are Memory Keepers washi tapes for Christmas, and there was this pineapple one. I thought, what better opportunity than to use a pineapple one, but unfortunately, as you can see, it is horizontal. It's not vertical. So I thought, what if I just flip this around and go like that? And as you can see, I wouldn't be able to necessarily use the strip, which, you know, this could have worked. I do like how it ends up in the end. I don't end up doing this. I do end up doing a vertical one because I grab another washi tape from the same We Are Memory Keepers set. Just it's a pink floral, which I grab it in a moment. It's very, very beautiful. There it is. It's sort of the same pink colors that you can see in that floral paper. I'm going to line it up again. I do fiddle around with this a lot, and I do end up putting the pineapple on this side here. So I've already stuck this down. I've just cut forward a bit because it'd take me a while to fiddle around with it, and I'm just sort of making a distressed edge here, and as you can see, I'm kind of just squishing it down on a little bit on the side, trying to make it look a little bit distressed because it sort of gives like a pop. Really adds a really beautiful element to it. Then I'm going to grab out the washi tape, and this is just some scratch 12 white cardstock, and I'm going to use this as a backing piece for this washi tape because of the fact that this is sort of transparent, and I wanted it to be opaque. I didn't want any transparency, so I'm just using my ruler to rip it off, a little bit of distress edge, double-sided tape, stick it down. As you can see, I'm using the back of that shine paper pad. I don't see me using it very much after this, so that's why I wasn't too worried about using it here. Sticking the double-sided tape down, I'm going to stick that straight on there, and I'm going to do the same distressed edge on this washi tape piece as well. Now, this one, it was a little bit more difficult, obviously, because it is washi tape, and it didn't want to fold as well, but I do get there in the end. Just so you're wondering, this video is sped up 2 times. I do not scrap this fast. I wish I could scrap this fast, but I don't. This is 2 times. This layout took me about 45 minutes to do, and I've cut it down to 16 minutes, so I hope hope you get to see sort of my plan of what I did. So where the photos are now is where they end up going, and I'm going to stick them down off camera because it was a bit fiddly. So here they are all stuck together. I've stuck it as a photo strip, and if you're curious as to what I've done, I've just put down some double-sided tape completely down the back of it. So it's very much stuck together, and once it's on the paper, I'm not worried about it moving. I just wanted to have it lined up perfectly straight and as a photo strip. So I'm going to position that down and stick it down. I did have to fiddle with it a little bit because they kind of were bending, which I think may be my fault because I had them in my phone case at the party because I didn't want to lose them. So I think that's my fault. And I'm just slipping the pumpkin. Why do I keep calling it a pumpkin? I'm slipping the pineapple behind the photos. Wow. And I'm using some PVA glue to stick it down because this pineapple is felt. It's not really showing up here in the video, but this is felt. So as you can see, I'm using a paintbrush to put it down because my glue bottle is broken at the top. I can't get any glue out of it anymore. Going to have to invest in a new glue bottle soon, but not while I have 3/4 of a bottle of PVA glue left. So I'm sticking that all down, and I'm going to have it underneath the bottom two photos a little bit. And this good thing about this double-sided tape is you give a little bit of leeway with being able to move it. So I've had to stick it down, and then I'm going to put a little bit of PVA glue on the felt part that the photos are touching, and then I also have to get some sort of foam tape to kind of pop up that bottom photo because it was just very obviously warped. So skip forward to that, it's down. I had to squish down that pumpkin for a few minutes because it just didn't want to lift. I probably should have used hot glue, but PVA glue works as well. Using the a really old one that I got in like a sale thing ages ago, and the title that I'm going for as the title of the video gives away is Hawaiian Time. So I start off by lining it up just along this clear sheet of acetate paper, and I go with Hawaiian, and I think it would have looked cool using these ones because, you know, they're yellow and the theme of the layout is yellow, but unfortunately I didn't have enough of the letters, so I've gone with these black ones as well, which do look really cool, and I've never done this before, but I decided to do the title vertically down the line, which looks really, really cool. I think I'm going to try this again, maybe on sort of some paint or something. It looks really cool. It's not showing up really well in this video, but it does look really cool, and I would really recommend giving it a go because it does sort of add something really different, especially if you're someone who does titles all the time. You kind of get into that place where you're just always placing your title in the same spot, so this sort of pushes you to sort of differentiate your title positions and sort of your entire layout, really, because for me, I base my layouts around my title and my photo. They're the two elements that I base it around. So this was really interesting to kind of move it around. So I'm just sticking down the little dots on the eyes there, and then I'm going to bring the layout back into focus. So I'm grabbing out a few embellishments from my stash, and I'm going to start off with my favorite thing, which is a doodly border. I haven't done a 12x12 layout in probably maybe 2 months, I would say, and I felt a little bit rusty at this point. I'd had the paper down, which I was excited, you know, to do something different, get the title down, and then I started to sort of panic a little bit because I didn't know how I was going to embellish it. So I'm going through this Crepe Paper Journal Studio ephemera pack, and nothing was really standing out to me too much. They're all really, really big, except for this word one, which says Love This Life, which I do end up using, and then I'm also using this Polaroid one. I really like how the embellishments came out on this. It's really interesting to have such a big white strip on the side, with then a whole bunch of embellishments, because I do go a little bit embellishment crazy. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape as well as just some PVA glue to stick this little, I would call it like a Polaroid shot around the side, which I think it looks really cool because it's sort of drawing your eyes inwards because the larger part is on the paper rather than on the white part. When I say paper, I'm meaning the pattern paper. So I'm just quickly pulling off the title here so that I can slip it down and then put the title over the top of it. So it's got a little bit of gold foiling around the side there, and stick that one back down, and I'm going to call that little section of it done. So the thing I love most about this layout is I kind of go for sort of two clusters that are very different colours. So the one down the bottom with the pineapple, I go with a yellow and neutral coloured layout, and then at the top I do a very pink one. I'm just adding a little bit more PVA glue onto the felt pineapple. I said it right that time, pineapple. Oh, I'm starting to second guess myself. It's a pineapple, Jamie Lee. It's a pineapple. I'm going to stick that down as well, and I'm just adding a little bit of glue to this Love This Life, because it is going directly onto the pineapple that I wanted it to stick. So I do hold it down for a fair bit, and this is when I go get some extra weights again to weigh it down, which I do pause the video for that. You don't really want to sit through me weighing it and drying it. So this is where I'm going to just start embellishing. So I'm deciding to stick all sorts of things sort of tucked out from the paper layers. I thought it would look really, really cool. So I go with these two tags from Crepe Paper Journal Studio, and I'm going to slip these in, and I do slip it in right down the bottom there, and I'm going to add some twine to both of them, just some butcher's twine, and this one I cut it wrong. It's too short, so I have to fiddle around with it. Yes, I could have cut some more. This is when I realized it's too short. It's not going to work. Yep, so I pull it off and I use my stapler. If you're wondering, a few weeks ago I talked about how my stapler broke. Well, I've bought a new one, and it's purple, and it was about $4, and it works great. I'm happy with it. Really want to get a tiny toucher, but it's cool. Buy away for my birthday, Christmas, who knows. I will figure that one out later. So I staple this one on there, and the other one I don't staple on. I sort of liked the contrasting that it gives between it. I fiddled around a lot. I couldn't get it down. Oh, I just noticed that my staple is the same color as my nail polish. Very, very nice, very coordinating. So I'm going to, again, use some more double-sided tape. I'm sticking down most of the papery embellishments of double-sided tape. I'm going to stick that one right there. So this is where up the top my pink one is going. So this is a roller stamp from Amy Tan, and I think it says Love This Life, possibly. I don't remember. Sorry. In the close-up photos you'll be able to see what it says, but I'm going to put that down the bottom. No, I didn't see it. That was too fast. Pause the video if you want to see it. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape, stick that one down, and I'm fiddling around with it, thinking this is when I decide to do the clusters together. So I do pop it right there, stick that one straight down, and then I'm going to just start sticking stuff. So this is another word piece. It says, remember this, I think, some generic memory keeping saying, you know, they're found in all the ephemera packs. These are some puffy stickers. I'm sticking these down. So I'm going with the sort of neutral yellowy wooden tones down the bottom, and I'm going with some beautiful pinky corally tones up the top. I love coral. It's such a beautiful color. So I'm going to stick that heart right up the top there. Sorry that it's out of frame. And I'm going to stick this gold one down the bottom. These hearts are amazing. They're beautiful. So I've got that orange one there, which it's standing out a lot more in camera than I think it does in real life, but I think it does sort of add to the whole neutral yellow tone that's down the bottom. Fiddling around a little bit more with some tiny word stickers, because it's not a layout for me unless it's got some tiny word stickers. These are clear ones, which look really, really cool. That yellow piece I thought was a good bridge between the two, because it's sort of near the pineapple, and then it's sort of trickling up, and then I'm going to stick this pink one down the bottom. Now, yes, they could be in reverse, but it's okay. I'm not going to change it. It looks pretty. I like it. I just have a quick flip through of my, what is this called? It's a sticker book. It's Maggie Holmes' sticker book by, I think, American Crafts. Having a flip through, seeing if I can find anything, because her colours do generally coordinate really well with most other crepe paper things. I'm using some wood veneers. These are these flower ones I just got recently, and I'm going to just stick those down with some wood. So I picked these wood veneers because they kind of look, you know, when like Hawaiian shirts and stuff, they have that generic flower. I'm not sure what it's called. Sorry. funny. I thought these wood veneer pieces sort of matched well with it, so there was a lot of them. I think I got like 150 in a pack for like $1. It was great. Loved it. And I'm also going to stick down some resin pieces. I think I go for a coral tone and I believe a brown one. So yeah, I definitely go for that one there that I'm just moving around, and then I also grab out a brown one and just shoo it away. Love my resin box. It's amazing. I'd recommend everybody to get one. They're just an amazing thing to have handy. So I'm sticking those down with PVA glue again. I always use PVA glue to stick these down, or hot glue, any sort of wet adhesive I would use. I would never use double-sided tape for that, just because I don't think it's strong enough, because it's a heavier embellishment. Things like paper, you know, I always use double-sided tape for, but heavier embellishments, this is just some gold mist. I'm just splattering the gold mist down the bottom, and then I'm going to get some pink mist to go up the top. These are shimmery mists. One of them is High Shine. This is the pink one, and then the gold one is a Studio Calico one. Got them both from Spotlight. If you're living here in Australia and you're wondering where I got them from, this is when I realised that I don't have any twine in that top piece. So I'm cutting off some greyer one, again contrasting to the black down the bottom, and I'm just using this one, and I think I'm just tying it, just in a loop around the top, and I'm going to call this layout done. I really love how this layout turned out. I'm going to do a little bit of a close-up here, and then I'll have some photos at the end. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy. Bye!